Long ago in the land of Canaan, nestled between the mountains and valleys, lived a man named Isaac. He was the son of Abraham, the same Abraham whom you may have heard about, the one who became the father of many nations through his offspring. Isaac's home was supposed to be filled with laughter and children, for he was married to a woman named Rebekah, whom God had chosen for him. However, the home was eerily silent. Year after year, Rebekah's womb remained empty, and the reason for it was not because they were unable, but because God had not yet spoken into existence the children who would fill their home. One day, Isaac, burdened by the quiet of his home, went into the fields to pray. With tears streaming down his face, he cried out to God, begging for a child to call his own. He promised God that he would name that child after the Lord, because he knew that this request would be granted. And as if in response to his earnest plea, a few weeks later, Rebekah found herself with child. However, as the days went by, strange things began to happen. Rebekah felt a constant struggle within her womb, as if two babies were fighting each other. Confused and scared, she didn't understand what was happening until one day God spoke to her. He told her that there were two nations inside of her, two peoples who would be separated from within her. The older would serve the younger, even though the younger was weaker. Startled by these words, she realized that she was carrying not just one child, but two, and that their destinies were far greater than she could have ever imagined. The time came when Rebekah gave birth to twin boys. The firstborn, whose skin was as red as the sun and was covered with a thick coat of hair, they named him Esau, which means hairy. But the second child was born holding on tight to Esau's heel, as if not wanting to leave his brother's side. And so they named him Jacob, which means he who holds on to his brother's heel. From that moment, the difference between the twins was clear for all to see. Esau grew into a strong and skillful hunter, spending most of his time outside, pursuing his skills in the open fields. His laughter echoed through the valleys as he returned home with the spoils of his hunt. Isaac, his father, was proud of him. He enjoyed the taste of the wild game his son brought back, and their meals together were always filled with joy and satisfaction. But Jacob was different. He preferred to stay near the tents, finding solace in quieter pursuits. He was a quiet and thoughtful child, always observant and pondering about the world around him. Unlike his brother, he did not find pleasure in the hunt, but he was drawn to the stories that his mother used to tell him about their ancestors, especially about his grandfather Abraham, who had left his homeland and followed God's call. Rebekah loved both her sons, but she sensed that God's promise was upon Jacob. In a dream, God had told her that the younger, Jacob, would become the head of a great nation, while Esau would also become a great people. Despite this, their mother's love couldn't change the deep rivalry that grew between the twins. It was a rivalry that had its roots in the womb, where the struggle for dominance had already begun. As the boys grew older, the tension in their family grew as well. Isaac doted on Esau, showering him with gifts and blessings. He had a special fondness for his elder son, often praising him and giving him the best of everything. Meanwhile, Rebekah favored Jacob, passing on ancient traditions and stories to him, hoping to nurture the destiny God had planned for him. The favoritism of their parents only fueled the rivalry between the brothers, turning their relationship into a battlefield where they constantly tried to outdo each other. Little did they know that their actions would soon set in motion a series of events that would shake their family to its core.